Hey besties, and thank you so much for joining me in today's video, and welcome if you're new here. My name is Lindsay and I love beauty so much, and in today's video we are going to be talking about my spring 2023 perfume recommendations to you guys. I have more than 10 in front of me, but I'm only going to talk about the 10 I'm most excited to be wearing in this spring for 2023. So if you guys also have recommendations, I would love it if you would comment them down below for me, because I love it when we kind of exchange back and forth. I think that's honestly like the most fun part about these videos. So I hope you guys enjoy. All the makeup on my face will be linked down below, as well as all of these perfumes. And to me, I feel like it's kind of important that I tell you what spring perfumes are to me. Yes, you can wear perfumes whenever you want throughout the whole year, of course, but these videos are so fun, and to me I feel like spring perfumes are uplifting, refreshing, happy. I feel like a lot of times they have florals, they have fruits. I feel like a lot of times maybe even like musk. That's what spring perfumes are to me before we get started. So if you have like a similar preference when it comes to spring perfumes, definitely keep watching. My first perfume is actually my scent of the day, and this is Ariana Grande's Maud Blush. When I first tried this perfume, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of just swept it under the rug because it was December when I first purchased it, and I bought this one and also Maud Vanilla, which I still really do enjoy. It is such a beautiful vanilla bean. It has praline in there. It's so super sweet and gourmand without being syrupy, heavy, everything that honestly even now you could wear it because it's not super syrupy, sweet, and heavy. But for me, this one is more a little floral with the rose and also fruity. So I really wasn't looking to use this one in December when I first picked it up, but oh my goodness, now that it's getting hotter, I have been loving this one a ton. I picked it up I think like 2 weeks ago and I started wearing it like here and there, and you guys, I have been living for this perfume, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the most affordable out of all the perfumes I'm mentioning. This one to me, I pick up on a lot of the rose, and I also pick up on a lot of the citrus kind of tartness in this perfume from some of the notes. I think there's passion fruit in here, there's raspberry in here, pink pepper, which I love, and also I believe pear, which just gives it that sparkling vibe, which I am so happy about because it gives it that sparkling, happy, fun, feminine effect. So to me, this one is amazing. It is heavy on the rose and also when it dries down on the sandalwood and the musk, but to me, this one for spring is just perfect, and I have been wearing it so much. I just wore it the other day, and you guys, someone followed me and told me how good I smelled. So it's a good one. It's a good one to me. I do not like the packaging. The top notes are passion fruit, raspberry, pink pepper, and bergamot. Middle notes are rose, pear, and magnolia. And base notes are musk, dreamwood, ambroxan, and sandalwood. Next up is actually a newer release. This one is Flores by Alice Brooklyn. And you know what? I don't feel like I have a problem with tuberose. I know some people really don't love it, can't stand it in fragrances, don't want it anywhere near them. But for me personally, I don't seem to have an issue with fragrances that have it, or at least the ones I have smelled. For example, I just smelled the new My Way fragrance and I really want it. I think it smells so freaking good, and this one to me is no exception. This one has tuberose, it has honeysuckle in it, it has gardenia, a lot of white florals that I do pick up on, lily of the valley, and I really like it. And the more and more I smell more fragrances in my collection, the more I add them, the more I smell fragrances in store, the more I can kind of see how in the past fragrances I really liked, even though they're good, they're just not great, because this to me is great. And something like this one right here, the J'adore from Dior, is good. It's good, but it just doesn't impress me like this one has been. I feel like every time I wear this one, I feel so pretty. It's a white floral with some sweetness to it. It has some citrus to it. Looking at the notes on this one, I'm pretty sure these two have similar notes. It has honeysuckle, gardenia, I believe, and Lily of the Valley maybe even, and I feel like this one to me is way better and a little bit more, it's not as sharp with the florals, you know what I mean? Moving on to number 3, if there's one thing on this channel I hate to do, it's be repetitive, but there's just some instances where I definitely have to be, and this is one of them. Carolina Herrera Good Girl Blush. This is a beautiful perfume, you guys. If you're looking for something super feminine, girly, bright, fun, beautiful, carefree, this is definitely the one. This one opens up with bergamot, which again gives it that bubbly, happy personality. I also feel like it has mandarin orange in there, which is a yummy citrus as well. When it dries down, you smell so much of the peony. It has rose water, it has ylang ylang, which I love ylang ylang. It also has, what does it have in the base notes? It has obviously the tonka bean, a lot of vanilla in this fragrance for sure, just like in the original, but this one is much more light and it's much more feminine in my opinion. And to me, if you are looking for a feminine girly fragrance, look no further. This one is perfect for spring and summer, but let's quickly go over the notes. Top notes of bergamot and mandarin orange, middle notes of peony, rose water, and ylang ylang, and base notes of vanilla and tonka bean. So this one is just perfect. I have been wearing this one non-stop, and you guys already know this one right here. And number 4 we'll say, which is Burberry Her Elixir, are honestly like hand in hand right now, like my 2 top perfumes I am constantly reaching for. And the Burberry Her Elixir, let's talk about this one now that I mentioned it. This one smells, yes, like a strawberry milkshake, but the longer I have it, the more I feel like it's getting a bit powdery. So if that bothers you in fragrances, I would just recommend smell it in store first. It also has amber in it, which gives it a bit of complexity, grounds it. It also has what? A woody note, I believe, sandalwood. Yeah, it has sandalwood in here, jasmine. I don't get a bunch of the jasmine, I'm gonna be honest. I smell more than anything the berries in here and also the amber. And when it dries down, also the sandalwood. So to me, this one is just perfect. I feel like because it doesn't have that tartness, a lot of people are going to like this one more than the original. And also I find this one to be much more long lasting. And again, I feel like for spring and summer, I like something that has fruits in it or floral, and this one to me is super fruity and delicious. And it also has that sandalwood, which is just, I feel like have 3 of them had sandalwood already? I don't know. Obviously I love sandalwood, we're seeing that. Again, that's kind of like the interesting thing about fragrance, is the more and more you pick up fragrances that you love and you look at the notes they have inside, the more you kind of figure out, okay, that's what I'm into when it comes to perfumes. Next up is gonna be a 2-in-1, because it just depends on your preferences. I feel like these have similarities, but they are also super different. But in general, I don't care what season it is, I feel like you need to have a freshie in your collection, and to me both of these are beautiful. They're both from Giorgio Armani. This one is the original Aqua di Joya, and to me this one is a beautiful citrusy, very aromatic fragrance, very clean and fresh. And I feel like if you're looking for something very easy reach, this one would be good to go for errands or whatever the case may be. I like this one a lot when I'm just in the house or working out or whatever. So this one to me I love. But you gotta love citrus because it does have quite a few, I believe, citrus notes, but it's very refreshing. And then this one is even more refreshing. I actually started out with this one, and one of you recommended me Ocean di Joya, which I'm gonna be honest and say I have been loving even more. I feel like this one, when I wear it, it's more aquatic. It has more of like a just refreshing feel to it. I feel like when I'm wearing it or when I smell it, I think of like crystal clear waters. It is just so beautiful. Oh, gosh, how I love to smell it. This is so good, you guys. This one is great. This one actually has pear in it, so it has that fresh sweetness. And then this one over here has more of that fresh citrusiness, which I love having both in my collection, but is it necessary? Probably not. I do prefer this one, but it's not like I want to get rid of this one anytime soon, so I'm happy to have both. But I recommend either or, again, depending on what you look for with your fresh fragrances. Ooh, and I almost forgot. I'll tell you guys the notes of both. Ocean has pear, citruses, and green notes. See, that's interesting because I don't pick up on so much of the citrus in this one. Middle notes of water jasmine, salt, lily of the valley, and rose. And then base notes of musk and sandalwood. I must be obsessed with sandalwood or something. This is like very interesting to see how many times certain notes are popping up in my perfumes. And then for Aqua di Joya, top notes of Amalfi lemon, I feel like I said that wrong, and mint. Middle notes of water jasmine, and then base notes of Virginia cedar, French labdanum. Is that right? And then brown sugar. Number 5 is a juicy, fruity fragrance. This is Kayali's Eden Juicy Apple 01. This one is definitely newer to my collection. I don't care. I'm putting it on with my Ariana Grande. I feel like maybe it'll smell like a nice mixture. Oh my gosh, I love this one. This to me is so super sweet. You guys know every time I talk, I spray and it's just a mess. But anyway, it's really good. I'm tasting it and it tastes kind of good. But this one to me does smell like a juicy apple. It smells delicious, mouth-watering. It has a bit of musk to it, especially when it dries down. And it's not like your typical Bath & Body Works fragrance. I know why people would say that, but the fragrance they compared this to, I do not feel like it smells anything like it. Maybe like the smallest bit, but I feel like this one has more to it. It is just such a delicious, juicy, fruity, beautiful creation. And in general, I feel like we all already know this, but it is so fun to mix this with other fragrances like I just did. It just always mixes well with anything I pair it with. So we have top notes of red apple, lychee, black currant, which I love in fragrances, pink grapefruit, middle notes of wild berries, raspberry bloom, jasmine, May rose, and base notes of sugar, musk, vanilla flower, moss, and amber. And you guys, oh my goodness, it just smells so yummy. Please go to Sephora if you haven't gave this a chance and at least squirt it and try it out. It is just so beautiful, and I am so happy to have this in my collection to wear alone or to mix with other perfumes, which is typically how I do use it. Next up is from Viktor and Rolf, and this one is Ruby Orchid. I recently just got this one, and you guys, I have been enjoying it oh so much. It has like a little baby dent, but oh my goodness, I think it is so beautiful and it lasts very long on the skin, which I love. I will say this one, when you do first spray it, you do smell the peach, but also something a little odd. So when I first put it on, I wasn't super impressed because even though I did smell the peach, I picked up on it, I also smelled something pretty green and pretty, just, I don't know how else to describe it, but just pretty green. And so when I looked at the notes, I saw that it does have vine. So I guess it's supposed to have like the vine of the peach, that kind of smell for you. So that kind of threw me off in the very beginning, and I didn't know if I would like it until the dry down. Once it dries down, you smell that vanilla, and it's a very thick, very syrupy almost vanilla, but it's not like suffocating in that same breath. It doesn't irritate me in that way. It's just really juicy and delicious and just a mouth-watering vanilla that I love to smell. I will say once it does dry down though, I don't really smell a bunch of that peach anymore, and the green does subside, which I'm kind of happy about. I don't love that green note in there, although I feel like it does give it a bit of uniqueness. I will say I'm just happy that when it does dry down, the star of the show is that syrupy sweet vanilla that is just so intoxicating. So to me, this one is just perfect for the spring months. I also see this one being really good even in the colder months as well. So I love this. And the notes of that one are top notes of peach and vine, middle notes of orchid, and base notes of vanilla bean. I cannot make a video like this without recommending once again the YSL Libre. This one is the original. If you don't like lavender, you wouldn't like it. Opt for the intense, which is more pronounced definitely with the vanilla. I say it in every single video, but I truly feel like sometimes people do smell this one and the lavender just totally throws them off. But for me, I feel like it gives it such a uniqueness. I feel like the blend of citrus, the blend of lavender and vanilla is just so good, you guys. It is so good. I feel like this is elegant, it's classy, it's rich, it smells like money. I don't know how else to say it, but it smells like money. And I feel like this version is not too intense to be worn in the spring and maybe not in the summer. I feel like the lavender maybe in the summer could be annoying. I haven't worn it yet for that, I don't believe, but you guys, for right now, this is perfect and I love it. I feel like if you have an event, if you're going on a date, this is a compliment getter. Point is, this is such a stunning fragrance. I love the bottle. I love the scent profile. Everything about this fragrance to me is just so beautiful and unique. I've never smelled anything like this, though if you have, please let me know in the comments down below because I would love to try out maybe a dupe of it. The top notes are lavender, mandarin orange, blackcurrant, which again I love in fragrances, petitgrain, middle notes of lavender, orange blossom, and jasmine, and then base notes of Madagascar vanilla, musk, cedar, and ambergris. So I love it a lot. I don't know what else to say. It's just such a stunning fragrance, and in every single recommendation video I try to throw it in there because it's just worth the sniff. Even if you're not into fragrances, it's worth the sniff. It is such a long-lasting fragrance as well. It is my most complimented fragrance, and it also projects like nobody's business, which is why I feel like I get so many compliments on it as well. So YSL Libre Intense. I haven't really played with the Les Perfumes so much, but any of them, so good. I'm gonna go with Prada Paradox. I feel like this one is absolutely stunning. I feel like what's great about it too is even though it is quite fruity, it's not super juvenile, it's not super immature. If something like Coral Fantasy, for example, doesn't have enough personality to you, it doesn't have enough depth, even though I absolutely love it. I was going to recommend it in this video, but I talk about it so much anyways, and it's not the most long lasting, so I'm not going to be talking about it today. Well, I just did, so sidebar, that one's good too, but that one doesn't have a lot of depth and this one does, which I feel like does make it a little bit more grown woman. It has benzoin in it. It also has amber, which is beautiful, and that bourbon vanilla. So to me, this one is kind of like a sexy, fruity, floral. It's warm, it's delicious, it's inviting, and personally I feel like this one's great for date nights too, and you can't go wrong with it. Let's go over the notes. Top notes are pear and tangerine and bergamot. Middle notes are orange blossom, neroli essence, neroli, and jasmine sambac. Base notes are bourbon vanilla, amber, white musk, and benzoin. And again, I feel like a lot of people say this smells like everything else, and to me, the only thing it smells reminiscent of a little bit, and I feel like just because of some of the base notes and the fruitiness, is probably Valentino Donna Born in Roma. I don't think it smells exactly like that by any means, but because it does have similarities, I just want to bring that up. Maybe if you have one, you don't necessarily need the other. And I would recommend that one in this video if I wasn't recommending this one. So I figured I would go ahead and give you guys a summer fragrance because I know a lot of us are rocking summer fragrances in spring, of course. So I would say Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. This one is such an elegant, creamy coconut scent. It has white floral, but the white floral is done fabulously in here. I feel like this one, some people say, is not super long lasting, but on my skin I get around 6 to 7 hours, maybe more like 5 to 6, and then on my clothes I can still smell it. It's right in front of me on a sweater that I wore yesterday. So It's just, it does last for me anyway. I know everybody is different, but I feel like on the clothes it's usually the same, so I just want you guys to be aware of that. But honestly, in summertime we're not wearing that many clothes to begin with, so I understand why it being on the skin and lasting is very important. But I feel like for me, again, 5 to 6 hours I'm okay with how beautiful and luxurious this smells. I will say again, whenever I wear it, I feel like I am transported to a yacht, which is why I say this one to me is more elegant than say something like Lust for Sun by Juliet Has a Gun. That one is beautiful, but when I'm wearing it, I want to go like to a beach. I want to do some fun activities out and about. This one to me is a little bit more bougie, a little bit more classy. I feel like when I'm wearing it, I want to be, you know, maybe at lunch, dinner. I want to be again on a yacht wearing all white, just like the whole vibe, the whole fantasy. So to me, I feel like this one is just perfect. I cannot put it down. And let's go over the notes. The top notes are pistachio, bergamot, cardamom, pink pepper. Middle notes are tuberose, ylang ylang, jasmine, and then the base notes are coconut, amber, tonka bean, and benzoin. So I see so many repetitive notes, you guys, with all of these fragrances. So I guess that's how I kind of know like they are my vibe, I guess. But yeah, besties, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing all of my recommendations and why I love all of these fragrances in my collection. Please, please, please do not though forget to comment down your recommendations to me. Maybe if I get enough comments of your recommendations, I'll even do like a full video trying out your spring recommendations to me, because I think that would just be so freaking fun and exciting. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the good things, and I will see you in the next one, besties. Bye!